3, 4, now 5 red lights ahead of the drivers. Way for as Sam got a pretty decent start, but it looked like Sam got the better start. He did, and he's already took the lead down into turn 1 as the Alpine driver. So Sam then got the better start from the top 2. Sam down to P2. He's got a few incidents at the back, I believe. Bit of a squabbling going on at the back. As Bennett has just made his way up into P5, back past Darren. There's Vashy Coots now back up into P7 past Clock, but one thing I've noticed, Smoke has made his way up into 13th already. So it's a good start from Smoke, making 2 positions. He's got battling down at the back again, but I was saying Sam for turn 1. So it's a very good start from him, definitely a start he would have wanted. His information, they're too wide for 4 drivers. As Rapid Coot gets past Clock, as Owen gets past Paul. As Paul might have a look again here. Oh, he got very close to the McLaren driver, but Owen up into P9.
It was like Paul was pretty wide with Clock and Coot, but Owen just managed to be there, but he goes deep into the hairpin.
Oh! Elite Riss has crashed. I think he's just back of Moley in the Alfa Romeo. Moley is round as well. As I don't think any of them have damage. But both of them coming together, I think Elite Riss just didn't expect Moley to break that early. So, incident already here at Singapore. Elite Riss started at the back. He's made a place, but again, contact with Moley. And Moley has now lost 4 places due to that incident. But Sam then is going to lead us through that first lap in the lead after taking the lead from Sam at the start with a fantastic start against the Williams driver.
He just got a better reaction time than Sam on when the lights went out. So
indeed, he did.
Hopefully that was a good job. There was no contact though.
Yeah, thankfully there was no contact this time with Sam and the cars around. So Sam only losing 1 position and hoping to gain it back as Elite Riss has came in. So maybe he did have damage. Do we have any other battles going on? I think Connor might be closing up to sit here. He has closed up a bit. He's about 3/10 of that, but he's not going to go for that move. Long way to go in this race.
This is what Sam must be careful of now. Is he is essentially an Alpine sandwich, so just got to be careful.
Indeed he is. Might be playing some team games down at Alpine. Sam maybe could back Sam up into Connor. Excuse me. And get an Alpine 1-2 at the end of this race. But Sam controlling this race at the moment. Got an 8/10 gap to Sam. As Banotter's closing up a little bit to SLR Connor as well. So Banotter looking to maybe get in the top 2. He just clipped the wall a little bit there. I think he did. Paul closing on a little bit. Wants to get that place back from the McLaren driver, but Owen, if anything, closing up to Clock as well.
Yeah, I think Clock has just stepped out of this DRS, though, the train at the moment. 1.1 seconds.
It's difficult to overtake around here. We haven't seen many position change, well, big position changes. Sam gaining a place, Vabi Kook gaining a place, Owen Howe gaining a place, Morgan Smoke and Savoy are also gaining places in this race. But I wonder if we are going to see much overtake in this race, because again it is a street circuit, so it is pretty hard to overtake around them because they are tight and twisty corners. As DRS has now been enabled, as we have just reached lap 3, so maybe that's going to help pull people along to the cars ahead of them. As let's go back down the pack a little bit. I thought Owen was going to have a little look on Clock there. He got very close to him. Let's go on board with his teammate Darren as well, as I think he's just gained a little bit on Bennett in the Aston Martin. We'll keep an eye on this little battle, let's see if he does close up. But again,
it seems Darren has underfueled his car as well, because he has got the yellow light on his fuel symbol.
Yeah, I think a lot of drivers may like underfuel their car just a little bit.
He's Darren's had a mistake.
Has he? He has.
As he just almost squeezes Coot into a wall.
Now I've caught the end of that. Vapor Coot nearly overtaken Darren for P6, but as I was saying, quite a few cars, I won't be surprised that it will underfuel a little bit due to the train that will go on, so you can just lift and coast a little bit, and the car ahead of you will probably just pull you along, so that's one way. I think VR is closing a little bit on Adrian, but it's not going to be close enough to make a dive for 11th place. As Banotter closing it. Oh, and Bennett goes a little bit wide there. As he gets very close to the wall, so Darren's going to be able to close up a little bit after making that mistake.
Sam has pulled a second gap to, second lead to Sam, so he's out of DRS.
He has. Indeed he has. Sam has pulled away. No team gains going down at LP, and Sam is just going to run away with it at the moment. That's the fastest lap provisionally as well. It's one of the Alfa Romeos. I think that was Bad Otter.
Yeah.
Going wide at the final corner.
Could give it up for Benny, but he's just a bit too far back. We'll try and make a lunge. Well, a safe lunge.
VR. Oh, he got very close to Adrian there. The gap was about a tenth of a second when I saw it, but he's not going to make no dive bomb yet. I think Sam, did he get DRS? He just about got back within DRS.
No, I don't know if Owen's tyres are
Paul.
struggling because he is under pressure by Paul.
So yeah, maybe tyre temps already coming in play here for Owen. As you said, the only driver in the top 10 to start on the softs, but Paul losing in on those mediums already. We're only 4 laps into this race, so the softs could be going off. Championship leader Smoke had a bad qualifying. He's only gained 1 position so far, but he's going to be looking to get Morgan. It's just ahead of him. Morgan's just hit the wall.
Yeah.
So Morgan might have damage here. I'm not sure if he does, but we'll go back on board with the front. And Bad Otter's gone round. I just saw that he clipped the inside wall a hairpin. His rear tyre clipped the wall.
As that helps Paul get past the.
Oh, and Adrian's gone round.
Oh, nice Paul.
Adrian has spun round. I'm not sure if he was put off by Bad Otter or just got the power down a little bit early on those soft, maybe a little bit hot the tyres, but he's got damage to his front wing, so he's going to have to come in now for definite. So 2 drivers going round in the space of a corner. So Adrian down to 14th, Bad Otter down to 11th.
Yeah, as Bad Otter spun, Paul just took the advantage of Owen slowing down and got past Owen on that DRS straight. I think Owen is coming in for a stop.
Indeed he is. He's already had enough of those soft compound tyres in this race. And I'm not sure, he might whack on the hards or is he going to whack on the mediums?
Looks like he's better on the mediums.
Yep, he's going to whack on a set of mediums. I think they can go, 23 laps in this race if I remember rightly. I think they can go pretty far.
Yeah, well a late safety car could help Owen here though.
It could. Safety car helped him last time out in Russia as well, after starting on the alternate strategy, so it's going to need to help him here as well. I think Smoke has just got past Morgan. He has with DRS. So Smoke nearly nearly into the points zone. He's up into P11 on lap 5.
Yeah, well these two are on the same strategy as well.
Indeed.
Morgan does hit the wall.
It's just below a second. He's hit the wall again.
Yeah. Oh no, he's lost his wing.
Oh, he's lost his front wing. Oh, and that front wing is all over the track. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1. I think that's Savoya that's gone off out the pit lane. There's Morgan retired. Is he? I think he's hit the wall.
Yeah.
And we've got a full safety car. So
he must have just hit. He must have. Yeah, he's hit the wall.
Oh, he has. He's hit the wall at the Singapore Sling.
It's quite difficult to do with a front wing. So
Owen is not going to be happy at all if people come in and the safety car coming out after just pitting last lap, and maybe it's going to help him. He has crashed out. Well, no, the safety cars came out because of Morgan crashing out, and it's really not going to help Owen Howe now. Let's go back to the front and see if anyone comes in. Sam stays out. Sem comes in. Connor stays out. Bennett comes in. Let's go back to the tyre graphic quickly.
This could help Molly pit off the soft now then.
Darren comes in. Vapid Coot comes in with a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Van Otto comes in. Clock comes in. And for the hards as well, does Sem. So they can go to the end of the race on those hards. As Darren has pitted for a set of mediums, so he may be going medium, soft in this race. So is Coot as well. So maybe thinking that that's going to be the fastest strategy.
Well, we'll see, but this promotes Smoke up to P5.
Indeed it does. So, again, even though we said overtaking isn't easy around here, with the pit stops, like you're saying, Smoke, from 15th, is up into P5, starting on the hards. This might help his race. Obviously, I know he does underfuel his car by quite a bit, so he can gain quite a bit of that fuel back behind the safety car now. So, everyone who pit, it's everyone from the top 6 downwards. Bottom 6 down pit behind the safety 4. As I think Owen came in again for a set of mediums, so he's now P12 in this race. So he hasn't lost out too much. in this race. Elite Risk, the only driver not to pit behind the safety car after recently pitting after losing his front wing. So it's been a chaotic first 6 laps in this race, really, with a lot of drivers clipping the wall, losing their front wings, and we've had Morgan DNF.
Yeah, it's a very tight track, so it's easy done. But it must have just been very difficult on the mediums because Morgan was struggling to keep up with the pace of the medium runners. But it was a strategy worth risking by being outside the top 10. So fair play to him for trying it.
Yep. So Sam's lead of it was nearly a second has now gone down to 0.4 of a second, but this time it's to his teammate Connor. So an Alpine 1-2 now provisionally.
Yeah, and crucially, there's actually a Williams car in P3 of Paul. So
it is.
That kind of helps Sam out a bit.
It might help Sam out a bit if Paul can get past Connor and Sam and maybe help out his teammate here. Because I wouldn't be surprised if the people that pit for the hards will go to the end. Sam only dropped to P6 at the moment, so hoping to get past Smoke and stay within a pit stop of everyone ahead of him. Then he will retake the lead of the race. As I think the drivers at the back are just catching up now.
Seems like everyone's took advantage of the safety car and chose to pit.
Yep, everyone apart from the top 5 though. SLR Sam, SLR Connor, DBT Paul, VR46 and LP Smoke opting to stay out. Smoke the only one of those top 5 on the hards. So he can take them pretty far in this race and maybe pit, well if he wants to, for the softs at the end, but we saw with Owen how quickly the softs drop off.
And it depends, he might have a fresh set due to only is going out into Q1, so. But we saw Radrian as well, they didn't really work into his favour. So it might just be a hard medium strat.
Yeah, that's what I thought it'd be. So, but again, we haven't had this is the first race of the weekend here with Summit League Racing, as safety car is in this lap. But the drivers haven't really got anything to go off apart from other races that they may have watched in other leagues or tournaments. So Sam then is going to lead the other 15 drivers we have in this race back to green flag racing. I think he's going to back them up quite a bit, hopefully, in sector 3. And it's going to be interesting when he's going to go as well. Is he going to go right at the end, or is he going to go before the final corner? We're about to find out. Just weaving to get those tyres warmed up, and it's going to be even harder for the drivers on the hards, as he is now gone. That's how Sam has gone already. Back to green flag, as he does hold on to the lead still, as VR is catching up to Paul a little bit here. Don't think we've got any overtakes going down into turn 1.
Or has Paul has just tapped Connor?
Has he? Ooh.
Yeah.
So Paul getting very close to Connor, it seems there.
But yeah, I think Paul didn't time the restart perfectly, but VR got a good jump, but couldn't use anything because there was no DRS.
Indeed, and we might have a move for P7 here. Darren on Bennett. He's going to send it to the inside of the Aston Martin. He is. Is he going to hold on, Bennett? Bennett with the outside line. Now Darren with the outside. Bennett with the inside as he pushes the McLaren driver a little bit wide, but he gets through. As Coop now gets through as well, so Bennett was ghosting there, so I'm not sure what happened to Bennett. Maybe he lost it in the game, thought he spun, so they ghosted him, so he's just lost 2 positions in the space of 2 corners.
Yeah, I have no idea what happened either. It just seemed like the game was who's that?
What's happened to Paul? Paul has spun in the Williams. He has lost it at the hairpin. He lost his front wing as well. He has. So I'm not sure if he hit the inside wall as well.
That's a weird one.
It is. So we were saying Paul maybe to help out Sem to try and pressurise the 2 Alpines. Well, he can't now because he's front wingless, so he's going to need to pit for a new one. Let's go back on board with SLR Sam. He's already pulled a second to his teammate. West comes back into play next lap.
Yeah,
The next
Smoke
lap.
and
Will he
Sem.
back?
Smoke and Sem seem to be cat here.
Indeed they are. So maybe the two on the hard compound tyre are quicker than VR at the moment, but Sem has got a charging Darren right behind him. So he's going to need to hold him behind while trying to attack Smoke as well. There's Darren closing up to Sem here. He's using his battery. Is he going to have a go on the Williams? He's going to send it to the inside. He does have a look, but he doesn't do it. Sem goes a bit wide there. Maybe anticipating the McLaren driver. Maybe sending it to his inside, and Darren's hit the wall. As I think he has lost an end play. As Vapiku.
Well, his wing still looks intact.
It does just look intact. He's got a better run on Sem, but I had to take a step back there because I thought he was going to have to go into the Singapore slick.
He is hungry for that P5.
He is. Oh!
Oh, these two are getting close.
Indeed they are, but this is not going to help Sem because he's nearly lost a second to Smoke already. Darren to the inside. Oh, they touch! Sem's round. He's had a half spin after contact with Darren. And Sem is going to be fuming with that because now he's
Darren is
2.5 seconds, if not more, behind.
He's trying everything to get past these drivers.
Indeed, he is. Darren, a bit desperate there to get past Sem. We've got like I said, a desperate move. We've got a long way to still go in this race, but Sem is not going to be happy with that as DRS is now enabled, as Connor is now back within a second of his teammate. But Darren wanted to get past Sem's. Darren on the faster tyre for now. Just couldn't get past. And then contact. And then Sem having a half spin. So Sem needs to do that all over again. Gain 2 seconds on Smoke now. Oh, Sam nearly loses it. On that right-hander. Actually, the car was sideways. As Paul has spun and lost his front wing. He tried to spin it round and he has just hit the wall.
The Alpines are just running away at this point.
They are. The two Alpines having an amazing time out in front. The Savoia has just got past Moley there for P13. Just outside the points paying positions there. I think Paul is going to come in after, well, recently losing his front wing. Has lost it again. So that might be his race over. As yes, he has retired in the pit lane, so that's Paul's race over.
As we could see another Darren overtake on Bennett.
We could. Darren with DRS, Bennett would not. He didn't get DRS on Vapiku, and Vapiku has sent it on Sem as well.
Darren's gone a bit too deep. How has this driver kept this wing? Like, how has he kept his wing?
I do not know. Multiple contact with the wall and other cars. Somehow he's kept his wing, but as we saw just ahead of that battle with Bennett and Darren, Vapiku getting past Sem. Vapiku on the medium tyres compared to Sem's hard, so at the moment the performance difference is probably going to be quite a bit. But I think Connor has closed up to Sam a little bit now, as Darren has got a penalty for track limits.
I think that's the first penalty, the 3 seconds anyway, because I know Vapiku got his 5 seconds.
Indeed, yeah, so the driver's been good with track limits so far, but again, the first penalty for track limits being dished out. But Connor's now going to close in to his teammate Sam with DRS here. I don't think he's going to attack as hard, knowing it's his teammate ahead of him.
Yeah, this is
does break quite a bit later.
This is crucial because one of them could pit early, and one of them could just go longer on their stint.
Indeed.
Secure it.
As I think there's a move further back for P12, Savoia and Elite Risk. Savoia making his way back through the field. They're under a nice ding-dong battle, it seems here. Battle for P12 between the Mercedes and the Alpha Tauri.
Still wheel banging.
As Elite Risk holds on to P12 then. As Darren is closing up to Bennett again. Are we going to see another move from Darren for P7 on Bennett? Because Bennett's not going to have DRS. Darren is, again. They've both got nearly similar ERS.
Bennett's not really fighting it.
Yeah, I don't think he will. The performance, he might do actually. He's trying to hold it around the outside, but Darren does get through it into P7 in the end.
Now Sem is losing out time to the medium runner ahead of Rapid Q, so seems to be probably out of his rhythm now after that half spin.
Indeed, yeah, the medium's just quick at the moment. As Sam has made him. Oh, Sam, no, he hasn't. Oh,
That was close. That had to be close. 5
He
seconds.
clipped the wall. He clipped the wall as well on entry. But Sam now making his first pit stop of the race. I don't think he has front wing damage, thankfully. He doesn't.
He didn't register that, but he.
We've got a bit of a glitch for quite a bit longer than he should have. But now up into P3, getting past VR.
There's a train forming behind Bennett on the hards.
For some reason, VR is ghosted. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if he is in this race or not. He might have ghosted out.
Oh, he is. I'll invite him.
Yeah, let's get VR back in the session as quickly as possible. But yeah, so Sam dropping to the back after making his first pit stop in the race. But technically, he is at the back because everyone else has pit so far, apart from the top 4.
Oh, Smoke has been different.
Oh, he has! We were talking about the top 4. Smoke was in the top 4. He's not now. Started on the hard, and he has binned it just before bridge. So he's going to drop to the back. Yet to pit in this race championship, leader Smoke. And for the past few races, he has not had any luck in this championship. As Sem, I think, has just got past VR. He has. So VR still not in the session, but Sem now back into P3. But Sem is now in a prime position, maybe,
just down
to win
take
this
advantage
race.
of the ghost and just get past VR. VR is now in.
Indeed he is, but Smoke then down to 14th place as
Darren
Darren has now come back up.
Isaiah doesn't piss.
We'll have a look. It does stay out, thankfully for him. But Darren, after contact with Sem not too long ago, has caught back up to the Williams driver and hoping not to have the same outcome as they did last time. But Sem back up into P3, technically in the net lead of this race because the two ahead. Oh no, he's not, because Rapid Coot has pit, sorry. But Connor hasn't. Connor yet to pit in this race. And I think we have got a bit of a timing glitch, so hopefully that will fix itself anytime soon.
Oh, it's Darren behind us. What's
happened to Darren?
He got too trigger happy
What
and
on earth
just
happened there, Darren?
lost it.
He's in neutral. I'm not sure what happened to Darren there. Maybe a wheel issue or something? He's got damage to his front wing, but he was in neutral going through that corner.
Well, he's on the controller, so won't be able to. He's lost his wing.
Sorry, yeah. Not sure what happened there. It just seemed like he lost it mid-straight. Very weird issue there for Darren, but Connor then still leads as this glitch still has not fixed itself, so we cannot see the gaps. Darren gets another penalty, but I don't think it's any fault of his own. Few wheel errors, and he has retired. He's crashed.
I don't know if that's on purpose. Don't think it is.
Bridge.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's definitely not on purpose. Does it bring out any safety car?
No. They can clear that under yellows. Vapiku closing up to Connor then. As you're saying, Connor yet to pit.
Connor would have really wanted a safety car to get a free pit stop.
Indeed he would have. His teammate though, SLR Sam, would not, because he's now down in 13th after his pit stop. And quite a way behind. As VR, has pit. That's why Clark got past. So Clark up into P5 as the glitch has now fixed itself, thankfully. Let's have a look at positions gained in this race. Rapid Coot gaining 6th. The big one is Savoya up in P8 and Elite Riss up in P8. And Owen! Owen has crashed ahead and he has lost his front wing. He's still in this race, but he has made an error and he has crashed. Thankfully not out of this race, but he has now got a whole lap to do without a front wing.
Yeah, I was going to say
quite a lot of drivers getting damaged this
there's
race.
A massive train for P5 at this point.
Let's go back on board then with the drivers at the top. See what they can do. Bad Otter's closing in on Clock a bit. We go back to the tyre graphic. They're both on the same lap old tyres and the same compound. So it's just going to go down to just raw performance. And maybe some DRS help for Bad Otter. And he's hit the back of Clock. And now Savoy's going to get involved in this little battle.
I might get past him.
With him. He's going to send it around the outside. He's upbraked himself.
As he reset the track.
He's reset to track and he's going to be quite a bit of trouble there.
it's going to be
He's
on
going to be in
the
a bit of
stewards.
trouble with the stewards. Yeah, the stewards are not going to like that one, and especially because we caught it as well. But let's go back to the battle for the lead then between Vapid Coot and Connor.
Yeah, this gap has been closing and closing and closing.
Indeed. So Vapid Coot then.
But Connor
That's about
is
half a
saving his
second.
battery.
He is. Connor's managing his battery very well as the two. Oh no, that is Elite Wrist that is pit. But yeah, we were just saying Connor's saving his battery pretty well. He's got currently 60% of battery compared to Vapid Coot's 10. Not even that now. So Connor's got quite a bit to defend. As
But this
now
does
made his
help
way back
Sam
into
get
the
back
points.
in his. Yeah, this just helps Sam due to if these two battle and don't like give each other space and one of them spins, Sam could be back into winning this race.
He could be. There's near enough everyone in this race is pit now, apart from our current race leader, SLR Connor. So Sam currently in a net P2 and looking to catch up to Vapid Coot. The DRS is really going to help Vapid Coot here to catch up to Connor.
I looked like he had a bit of a mistake going into the hairpin. Is that Owen left?
No, that was Darren. That was Darren.
Okay, cool.
So Vapid Coot catching up to Connor. Vapid Coot gets a penalty for track limits. But as you were saying, Connor making a mistake. Maybe the tyre wear was just started to catch him out a little bit. It was 14 lap old mediums. Started the race on them, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do see him pit here, as he does. So Vapid Coot does take the lead. But what that does mean though, Vapid Coot currently has 8 seconds worth of penalties. Sen is currently going to win this race on penalties.
Yeah, even with the 5 seconds if he only gets the pits to remove it. Sam will be 6/10 behind it.
Oh, is that Connor? Oh, sorry, no, Connor has came in. My head just completely went out the window there. For some reason, I just saw Connor losing places and completely forgot he pit.
He should be coming up behind his teammate, which he does. So
he does. He comes out ahead of VR though, crucially. So Connor's still staying in the points. Closest battle on track at the moment is for P7 between Savoy and Adrian, I believe. Oh no, it's going to be for Adrian and Moley for P6.
And you got Clock and Bad Otters still.
Indeed, yep. Quite a while for P4, just outside the podium. Bad Otter with a really picked up a penalty for track limits, so that's not going to help his woes. But as long as Sam stays within 8 seconds of Vapid Coot, he's going to win this race, and we've just gone past the halfway point in this race. That's 16 out of 31. And Vapid Coot are going to make it to the end on those mediums. So anyone who's pit for the mediums, probably before lap 10, isn't going to make it to the end, I don't think.
I think one of the strategies was a 2-stop medium soft, so we could be seeing that come into play with the medium runners.
Indeed, and obviously safety cars could come into play. Obviously we've seen incidents already so far, so
I think it'll be
another in Adrian. We nearly had an incident there between Adrian and Moley. Had a bit of a look at Moley and he braked a little bit late and nearly hit the wall. Did Adrian, so just about.
Yes, the boy is also behind the metal as he comes in the pits now.
Comes into the pit lane. Oh, he rejoins the track there. But makes it into the pit lane as Elite Riss has just picked up his first penalty of the race. Let's go back on board with Bad Otter and Clock. Like we're saying, this battle's been going on for quite a while. P4. As VR now sets the fastest lap.
They are both on the same tyre compound, so it's just driver errors. Who's more consistent in their laps. But this gap hasn't really been going over 1 second, so there must be someone must be quicker in some part of the sector and some more quicker than the other one. So Bad Otter seems to have a bad corner there, so this could drop him out of the DRS.
It could do, as Owen now sets the fastest lap after having that incident earlier on in the race. But yeah, as we were saying, Clock, it's Clock's position to lose, but is it though, with Bad Otter's penalty really going to affect him? And Clock will fight for a podium as he's on his charge to go get SLR Bennett in the Aston Martin. But Bad Otter maybe looks to get past, or I think back wide there.
Clock all had a twitch. He was drifting half of that corner on the exit.
Yeah, and he's closed up to just under half a second. But ERS, guys, Clock has got more, as apparently Ballotta's ERS is still, he's left it on overtake for that whole section. I'm not sure if he notices or not, but he's just absolutely rinsed it. But the gap is now, again, about 6/10 of a second between the two. So it'll move anytime soon.
They are slowly but surely gaining Bennett.
They are. Again, that's what's going to help Bad Ottery. He's also going to close up to Bennett, as well as Clark.
Maybe
So
this
this could be the battle for the points podium.
maybe why Clock isn't using his overtake, just so he knows him to Bennett, so he might just be saving it to go full on attack with Bennett. Maybe near the end.
Indeed.
Because these three drivers at the moment are all on the same strategy.
They are. And he's probably the closest three drivers on the track at the moment, Bennett, Clock and Ballotta, so we'll keep an eye on them for a little bit. As I think Owen is now catching up to Smoke at the back for 13th place, so they're not going to get any points. And probably unless there's a safety car, which I wouldn't be surprised with the chaos we have seen so far.
Yeah, like
Lap of Coot then.
anyone can get squashed out into a wall and bang, wing gone.
Indeed. So, hang on. Vapikut then, currently in the lead, but probably still needs to pit on those Lapinol mediums. We saw, I think, Connor go 13 laps on them. So Ty Webb's going to start to kick in, and Sem, you'll be surprised, starts to catch up on those hard compound tyres. ERS-wise, Sem has got a little bit more, so he can use it if need be. I think don't think he's going to risk anything at the moment because he knows he has got this lead sorted by, the net lead by just over 4 seconds. There's Ballotta. It's now 2.5 tenths between him and Clark, so this is the closest this battle has been all race. So we might see a move going down towards the second sector.
Smoke's gone deep. I know the place.
Championship leader Smoke in the wall again. It has not been a good
Luckily,
race.
he does keep it out of the wall.
Indeed.
That was some move that was going to happen.
And Clock has had to use his ERS quite a bit here. You see the Ballotta and Clock basically got the same ERS now, so he's really having to defend against Ballotta. And he's not really gained on Bennett much either, so if anything, the gap's gone bigger. It's only 2 seconds. There's Adrian and Moley. A move for P6, and he's round. Bit of an ambitious move maybe from Adrian there to try and sneak down the inside. But he is now going to drop down into P10 and promote VR up into P9 because of that.
One thing about this track, you have to be patient. It doesn't reward you for trying to make a move or trying to force a move anyway. You just gotta let it come naturally.
Indeed, we've seen a lot of drivers be desperate to get overtakes this race. Some of them not working, some of them maybe some of them not working, and some of them working. But that one not working out for Adrian. Luckily to still be in this race. But Ballotta then, this battle is still emerging for P4.
Yeah, it seems like Clock has a much cleaner sector 3 than Ballotta, so he can't gain anything.
Indeed. So, Clock, like we were saying earlier, one driver is probably quicker in another sector than the others. I thought Clock went a little bit wide there, but that was just me. As Moley now comes into the pit lane, so as we see Vapikut come in at the end of this lap to get rid of those mediums. There's a yellow flag and Smoke
again.
Has gone off again.
The same corner though, he lost it last time.
He is. He has got damage this time.
Owen has done it this time as well.
Oh,
he
he's outbraked himself. Going under the bridge, he has outbraked himself towards that chicane. Thankfully, he hasn't got any damage, but Smoke and Owen battling for the final 2 positions in this race. Not going down well as Connor has just got past his teammate Sam. So he's now back up into P6. As the gap for the lead, 2.5 seconds between Vapikut and Sam. But like we're saying, I don't think Vapikut is going to stay out much longer. He
also has that 5 seconds. That's 5 second stop over penalty, so this could also drop him even further down the grid order.
Indeed, as a Sam in the Alpine now gets a 3-second penalty, so that's going to drop him behind VR currently. Maybe more if anyone else catches up. So let's stay with Vapikut then for now to see whether he comes into the pit lane.
I will say he probably will because Sam has closed in 7 tenths and he is still
He
closing
stays
in.
out. He has stayed out for a little bit longer, and there's been
Maybe
contact
he's...
between VR and Sam. There's been contact between the two drivers. I don't think Sam has damage, but he's trying to do a 3-point turn, going into the final sector. And Sam now down to P11.
Not a very Sam
Oh, he
wanted.
loses it again. Ooh. High attempts through the roof, and he nearly bins it. In the wall, he's gone deep. Oh, he's hit the wall, and he's lost his front wing. But after it being an Alpine 1-2, it's now Alpine 6th and 11th, and it's only going to be worse for Sam because he's got to pit.
Yeah,
So
you've
he's
moved the car now.
As a clock is once again getting support in the chat, he's up into P4, and he's got Balotta to defend now. Once again.
But once
They
again,
have closed up on Bennett.
Yeah, they're closing up to Bennett again. So
they are get a podium, and I think the chat will like that. Sam goes compound tyre then, so Owen's now promoted to 12th after that. So he's getting even closer to the points, and Ballotta's hit clock. Once again, going into that hairpin. Clock gets a better exit as well because of that. No damage to the Alfa Romeo. But are we going to see?
These two need to start working together to catch up to Bennett. If they just keep causing each other to have mistakes, they're losing Bennett.
Let's just keep an eye on Coot. He does stay out again, so he is taking there's no way he's going to take these mediums to the end of this race. He's going to get a puncture if he does.
Those fronts are on 50% because you can see the wear on them.
They are pretty knackered already. I think, like I said, the max you can take them is probably 23 laps, but the performance will be gone. Well, probably already 12 laps in. As we saw the majority of drivers pit around that lap of wear. So we're going to keep an eye on Savoia here, who gets past Adrian, as Adrian doesn't make it hard for him. He basically just lets him through. So pretty easy move for Savoia there. As Balotta, we'll keep an eye on this battle again for P4. We've been watching it near the full race, but it's kind of been the only battle on track for sometimes. This clock locks up a little bit, doesn't go too deep. But yeah, Balotta still with a penalty, so that will help clock, and Balotta goes wide. Just about keeps it out of the wall. As Elite Risk just get past his teammate Adrian. So Mercedes doing his old switcheroo with the drivers. Even though Elite Risk isn't a Mercedes driver, he is a Ferrari driver. I can assure you that. It's just him joining after qualifying. He gets past his teammate for this race, Adrian.
Yeah, Balotta almost had a trip to see the doctor after this race. He's close to the wall that sticks out before the hairpin.
Never seen a few incidents happen there today. People losing front wings, people crashing. Yeah, we're just going to keep an eye on this little battle then for P4.
As they are now,
Clock and Balotta. It's going to get DRS again.
Yeah, 2 times from being within
pit. Vapicoot has finally came into the pit lane, which means Sem does retake the lead of this race. After losing at the start to SLR Sam, after pitting behind the safety car, has played into Sem's hands. He's now got currently a 4.4 second lead to second place man SLR Bennett, but what's going to be interesting to see where Vapicoot comes out. I think he should come out in P7, so he's going to have some. Oh no, he's going to come out behind Savoia. It may be.
Come out behind the two Mercedes here.
It might be close. Adrian, really. No, he does get behind the two. Yeah, so behind the two Mercedes. Then he's going to drop to P10 on those softs. But yeah, as we were saying, Sem has done a brilliant race. After pitting behind the safety car, near enough everyone else staying out, gambling, the strategy has worked for him today.
Apart from having that
8 laps.
Apart from having a little tussle with Darren, then he's pretty much had a clean race.
Indeed. Vapicoot now gets past the first Mercedes of Adrian. Soft compound tyres against used hards is going to be quite a big speed difference, so up to P9 he goes. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets the fastest lap of this race, if we're being real. Balotta closing in on clock again.
They've lost Bennett again.
But again, yeah. But this time it's for P3, as does he get a flag? That might be. It is Savoia has gone off at bridge. I'm not sure if he's got damage. He somehow doesn't have damage, so he is now probably coot up
He
into
might,
P8, and he's now going to chase after Elite Risks.
he might have just caught a spin and went straight on the brakes. And it's kind of a fast section, so the yellow flags kind of pick it instantly.
Indeed. So very lucky to not get damaged in that very tight section over the bridge. So we keep an eye on Vapicoot if he can get past Elite Risk for P7 after just strapping on a fresh set of softs.
As what makes things worse, Smoker's got lapped by the top 4 right now.
He has. So just championship leader Smoker lap down. Vapicoot gets past Elite Risk. Any trouble at all really. Using DRS and the advantages of soft compound tyre. This battle for P3 emerges on between Clock and Bad Otter for the final podium position. But again, it's going to be tough for Clock to catch up on Bennett now. 1.6 to 1.7 seconds it keeps going around. But with Bad Otter behind him, pressure him, it's going to make his life quite a lot harder. But it doesn't really matter if he lets Bad Otter through with a penalty. So just taking it, hopefully, just going to take it a little bit easy and keep it clean.
But these two have more ERS than Bennett.
Bennett is using it down the straight.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bennett using his ERS to try and keep away from these two involved in their little battle. And let's go on board with QBR, who goes very wide there. So I don't think he's... Oh, and he's hit the wall! And he spun there last lap. And he's got damage this time, because I just saw the front wing end plate come off. So he's definitely going to have to pit. Because the understeer he's going to have in that AlphaTauri is going to be unreal.
It seemed like the way he's made that setup or pinched the setup or something just doesn't work with this track. It just seems like he's all over the place. He can never pick one line and stick to it.
Indeed. So on board with this battle again. Oh, hang on, there's a yellow flag. As Savoy's gone off, he has hit the wall at going underneath the bridge chicane as Moley just about keeps out of the way of him. Moley gets past him, sorry. So he would definitely come into the pit lane now after completely losing his front wing. Let's keep an eye on this battle for P3 then. And also closing in again, but not enough to get past. It's been a very good battle for P3 so far. I think Savoy has now came into the pit lane, which he has, to retire from the session. So it's just not been his day at all, as one of the Alpines have gone off, I believe. Is that Sam? Sam has gone off.
He's broke
Sam
his
has gone
front
off,
wing
has lost
again.
his front wing as well. So that's another driver losing their front wing. But this has maybe been the closest that this battle has been for P3. Going down this straight, Clock has a little bit of a twitch, but somehow still gets the better exit. But yeah, this is, like I was saying, this has been an amazing battle for P3, and he gets so close to Clock. And this just makes it even better to watch. And I hope it's very good for you at home as well, because it's amazing for us to watch this battle for P3, even though it may not finish like this on track. As the yellow flag, as Owen has gone off again. He has spun again. He's got I think he's lost his right hand side end plate as well, as he does a 3-point turn to get it back round. As race leader Sam then hasn't got long to go in this race. He's just lapped Sam, who's just picked for a new front wing. But yeah, this is really the only battle going on right now in this race between Clock and Balotta, so we'll keep an eye on this battle.
It just seemed like they can't. It's just they can get close to some parts, but just could never find the right move to get past Clock here.
Indeed, as VR has just picked for his final pit stop of the race to whack on the softs. So 4/10 is the cap again. Once again getting support in the chat, and Clock go for the win, full attack scenario 2. I don't think Clock is unfortunately going to win this race, but he's definitely going to, well, I wouldn't say definitely, but hopefully he does have his podium from Bad Otter, because it would be a great podium for Clock. Let's have a look at the positions gained in this race. 4 positions for Clock, 3 for Bennett, 2 for Rapid Coupe, 10 for Elite Risk after starting the back after not making qualifying, 3 for his teammate Adrian, Moley is gained 4, VR is gained 2, and LP Smoker's gained another 2, as Owen is, I think, coming into the pit lane to retire. Sam has gone round again, at the same place he went round last time actually, and he's got damage again, so he's going to have to pit for a new front wing.
it seems like the back marker, the people outside top 10 are not having fun on this track at this moment in time.
They are not having fun, as Smoke is actually going to get past him after being near enough a lap down. So it's a pretty good race from, well, a good race from Sem, but not a good race from Smoke once again this week. And it's, oh, speaking of Smoke, he has gone off. He's lost, I don't think he's got damage, thankfully, but he's not going to catch up now.
So Owen has commit to keep going, as he's now just got lapped by Sem to unlap himself.
Smoke does get past Sam, because obviously Sam had to pit for a new front wing. As you just said, Owen getting lapped by Sam, but Owen getting him straight back. You can unlap yourself if you are quicker. And clearly Owen, on the fresh set of softs, he's going to be quicker than Sam. So maybe he can just unlap himself.
As now Sam has retired in the pit.
Indeed he has, so after being second place, or actually leading this race at one point, after being 1-2 with his teammate SLR Connor, is out of this race. Not long to go then. Lap 27 out of 31, Sem leading, 7 seconds to Bennett. Another 2.7 back to clock. 9 tenths is now the gap between clock and Bad Otto, so he's still going to get DRS and close in maybe a little bit, but definitely not going to get the move done anytime soon, it looks like.
Yeah, these Bad Otto and clock seem to be mostly with each other for the last remaining laps of this race.
Hopefully they do, because they are providing us for some amazing content so far, so as they have done all race, so might as well give it us to the checker. As my voice is going, because this has been an unbelievable race so far, with a lot of battling and a lot of crashes. So 6 tenths is down the gap. He is closing in a little bit here, but as we were saying,
Bennett is closing in on Sem.
Better. He is. Bennett with a little bit better battery, but maybe Sem losing time to it because of the tyre wear. Maybe start kicking a bit and better. Both on the same age tyres, but Bennett, like we said, maybe handling the wear just a little bit better. Let's go back on board with Bad Otto. 4 tenths again. Going into the break-ins, there might even be less. It is 3 tenths. But no move. Bad Otto has been, even though there's been slight contact.
Yeah, could we see a battle here for these last remaining laps between the top two? Because this gap is closing.
It is closing. It's now below 2 seconds, so we might have a battle for the lead, the final lap. But Bad Otto, again, we've got the battle for P3 as well, which again is very close. 4 tenths of a second as Bad Otto has a little slide there going over the bridge. He's going to get DRS again. Did he get the better exit there? I think he did.
Yeah, he's kept with the 4 tenths. It's the closest I've ever been through this corner.
It is. Clock goes a little bit. I thought he went deep there, but no, he has absolutely nailed that. But yeah, Bennett closing up. It's now 1.5 seconds. What is happening to Sem? He is losing
any battery either, so this is. They're both on the similar battery.
Like they are, but Sem is driving around like the tyres are on fire or something. He just cannot get the car to work at all.
It was
with only 3 laps to go. It's not over for this race victory.
Well, 9 laps ago, like 20, it was almost a 5-second lead he had. It's been slowly dropping, but now it's like significantly dropping.
Oh, Bad Otto's round! The battle for P3 isn't going to happen because Bad Otto's lost it at turn 2 and he's lost his front wing as well. I have lost count how many front wings we have lost in this race. If we'd have a safety car just for the debris, but this isn't, thankfully. So
let's just hope we didn't do what we've seen most people without wings doing and crashing out. Because I don't think anyone without a front wing have actually made it to a pit successfully without having another contact with the wall.
Smoke is round again at the exit of turn 3 as he has got his front wing. But yeah, hopefully Bad Otto can make it back to the pit lane without crashing again. But our attention now goes to the battle for the lead. 1.4 seconds is the gap now as gets past the very slow going Bad Otto to get himself up into P5. But yeah, the battle for the lead now is our main attention. Sem is, well, they're both near enough out of ERS. This is going to be within a second, surely, on the next lap with 2 laps to go nearly.
Yeah,
We don't know who's going to win this race now.
No, we all thought Sam would have been in the clear after Cute pitting, but this is... Bennett has showed some amazing pace to close his gap.
The clock getting support in the chat again. He is surely going to hold on to this podium now. It's only going to be a mistake that's going to cost him, because Connor is now 5 seconds behind him and with a penalty. But there isn't gaps of lead. It could be with under a second going into this DRS zone, depending on Bennett's exit. And it has been a pretty decent exit. But it isn't going to be within a second. As Elite Risk now gets up into P6 after Bad Otter just pitting to get a new front wing.
And is Bennett going to be all attack, because he's only got pretty much a lap and a half to go?
Yes, it's going to be crucial to get as many points as he can over his teammate in the championship at this race. He's got over a race wins victory, has LP Smoke to his teammate SLR Bennett. But so the championship league can't change hands today, but it might be able to change hands next week if Bennett can get a good result today. Currently the gap is 38 points in the championship. If Bennett can win this race, get 25 points, it's going to be a very brilliant week for Bennett. And maybe next week to lead from his teammate.
This could be very tense now for the last lap, as these two are now within a second.
Sam is taking it very cautiously, not really attacking many corners it seems. As we saw through the bridge there, as he's pulled away a little bit, it looked like, through that corner from Bennett. As it's not going to be within a second, so Bennett isn't going to get DRS going on to the last lap, but he might get it at the second DRS point. Depending on how much they attack these first few corners. I can't wait for this final. Like, this final lap is going to be unreal for the battle for the lead.
Bennett's had a bit of a moment.
He's going to get DRS though. That's the crucial thing.
And they both haven't got any ERS to defend or attack with, so this is just driver's pace.
It's going to be go down second with 2 sectors to go in this race. As Sam has a little bit of a twitch. 4.5 tenths is now the gap. This is going to be an unreal end to the race. Who's
Just
going to win
fingers
this
crossed.
race?
Fingers crossed. Sam's legs are not shaking right now.
I hope they're not. I hope he can just keep calm and composed and not have contact with Bennett, because he has driven brilliantly so far as SLR Sam. So has Bennett as well. Ooh, Bennett breaks a lot later and he gets so close. But are we going to see a
this
battle
could be
going
crucial
down
for
into
the
the final
overtake.
sector? 4.5 tenths is the gap. I don't think he's going to be close enough. He isn't. All Sam's locked up a little bit.
These tyres they look like they are a nightmare to drive on. These two drivers are absolutely being so cautious on the throttle.
Those tyres look absolutely done of Sam's. Bennett looks like he's looked after his a little bit more. Oh, he goes a bit deep to Sam. But I think he's just going to hold on. Going into the final two
There was
corners.
one lap remaining.
Sam, as Bennett hits the wall, Sam, after qualifying on pole, losing the lead at the start, is going to win the Singapore Grand Prix here in Division 1.
It's not a very comfortable win though. It was definitely...
No, he made it hard for himself at the end. The tyre wear really kicking in more for him than he did for Bennett.
Connor was
but what a drive.
Almost
Connor,
3
yeah.
tenths.
Oh, 3 tenths of the line between him and Bennett. Elite Risk comes to the line to finish P6. Do you mind getting the top 3 in the party for us, please?
Yep.
VR crosses the line to finish P7. Moley is going to finish in P8. Adrian finishes P9. Balotta, after a tough day, is going to finish P10. Owen Howe has not had a brilliant day at all. From victory last week, he's going to finish in P11. LP Smoke, the championship leader, after being a lap down, is going to finish in P12 and last of the remaining runners. What a race that was. An unbelievable race.
It wasn't really an unbelievable race, was it? Let's be honest.
It was, well, for maybe one battle between Clock and Balotta for P3 and P4, but unfortunately Balotta losing it. As the in-game driver of the day goes to, I think it would go to Elite Risks. It does go to Elite Risks, who shouldn't be in a Mercedes, but yeah, I think we have everyone in here. Can you make sure to tick your boxes as well if you haven't already? So, Legend, do you want to do third and second, and I'll interview Sam, the race winner?
Yeah, can do. As we go on to Clock, who had an amazing battle with Balotta there near the end, well, mostly for the remaining laps at the end after the pit stops. Let's have your take on what you thought of your race, Clock, and if you want to add anything else as well.
Yeah, I think it was quite brilliant. I'm not sure what else I could have done. I was just trying to remain consistent the whole race and make sure to nail the exits every time out on the DRS straight, especially the first one. And I think I did every time as well, because he never really came close where he needed to be close. He was always close at the hairpin. But you know, it's not a place really to overtake, so I always had the exits and I was able to pull away when I needed to pull away, and then he lost it, so I was kind of safe, and I was slowing down a bit to make sure to not do any mistakes, and yeah, I'm really happy.
Yeah, you almost got caught by Connor there as well to the line, but luckily you keep the P3.
Yeah, I made it a little bit too exciting at the end there, didn't I?
But yeah, congrats on the podium, mate.
Yeah, thank you.
As we'll go on to P2, Bennett, you almost had an opportunity to go for the win. I mean, if you had one more lap, you definitely would have got 7 there, I think. Let's have your take on your race.
Yeah, mate, that was a boring race until the last 5 laps. And then it all sort of livened up a bit, and I didn't think I was going to catch, to be honest, and then it got to the last couple and I noticed I was getting that bit closer, but just not quite in this DRS. And then when I finally got on the DRS on the last lap, it was just that one lap too little, and I missed the chance. But I enjoyed it. It was good fun.
Well, yeah, it looked amazing to watch. Was gutted that you couldn't get him going into lap 30, but you know, got in the last lap. It all mattered. You almost had a chance. But congrats on your podium, mate.
Thanks, mate. And cheers to Sem and Clock as well. That's brilliant for them too.
So yeah, going on to Sem then, race winner. After taking, if I remember rightly, 2 pole positions this season, 1 at Canada and 1 at Monza, you finally converted pole to a race win. How do you feel?
Very, very happy. And well, I mean, my heart's racing because, yeah, I mean, from the outside, it may look a relatively simple race, pitting under that safety car. Matt, Sam, obviously not doing that ahead of me, which turned out to be the wrong call for him. But yeah, I mean, like, kind of from that moment on was on edge really. Like, first few laps, yeah, me and Sam were relatively similar on pace. I made a couple of mistakes, was able to pull back in the DRS, but Charlie was telling me he still had a decent amount of ERS, and yeah, I mean, I was kind of just thinking, right, I'm not going to try and risk anything on track. I might try and get him on the undercut, but even if I don't, I'd be happy with P2. Then that safety car came out, and I was very surprised to see that Sam had not pitted, because I know the mediums, because I know the hards go quite a long time here, and I just figured that surely a lot of the top 10 are going to pit, and he's not going to be able to pull the gap back down towards the end of the race. So I did go for the hards, but that meant that obviously back in traffic, and then had Darren and Vapid behind on the mediums, and yeah, they were quite aggressive. And I don't know whether you saw on stream, but Darren tried a couple of moves on me, and one of them he nearly took us both out. Like, and yeah, like I had to correct it, nearly spun, lost a couple of seconds. Was like, oh god, do I have wing damage or anything? But was fine, and then yeah, just once that all settled out, yeah, me and Bennett had relatively similar pace. We were both kind of just controlling it, trying not to get penalties, and I had a bit of a gap to him, and then all of a sudden, with about 5 laps left, I saw the gap was down to 2 seconds, and he was just eating into me. He had a lot better tyre wear than me in the race. Like I think he had like 10% better tyres at the end of the race or something, 10-15%. So that's probably part of why he was able to just keep on closing in. Plus, obviously, I was a bit nervous, and then final lap, he did eventually get DRS. He was close a couple of times before, and I think just those couple of hundredths either way was just probably what won me the race, because he couldn't quite get close enough. I got a good enough exit out of the hairpin in the final lap, and yeah, really happy because it's my first on the wheel, and my first since Mexico last year, and my first podium since Brazil last year. So I mean, I guess it's proof that it's just like switching machinery or whatever. You never give up. I've crashed so many times this season, but finally I've got to win. Well done to Bennett, because he stayed out of the chaos and had some great pace, some great tyre wear, and really pushed me at the end. I was hoping it would be comfortable, stay at that 4 seconds, but he had a lot of race pace. And then to clock as well, chose the right strategy as he always does, as you know. Like clock's really good on strategy, and yeah, had some good pace, kept consistent like he always does, and yeah, it's good to see him on the podium as well. And yeah, shout out to Sam as well, who had really good pace. Obviously got me off the start, and it's good to see him back racing as well. Like, I know he had an operation at some point earlier in the season, hasn't raced for a little while, but it's good to see him back. He's a very quick driver, and yeah, very happy though.
As you should be. He did absolutely brilliant today after getting it right with the strategy when others didn't. But yeah, Bennett, you and Bennett gave us a really nice battle at the end. Bennett seemed to have saved his tyres right to the end. But again, you did very well to hold on. So well done to you and the rest of the top three. But yeah, that's all we've got time for today for Summit League Racing and here in Division 1 as well. So make sure to join us tomorrow for the Division 2 race at 6 p.m. here in Singapore. Thank you very much for watching, and good night.